This video is going to cover Justicialist truths 14 and 15. I'm going to start with number 14. Okay. Justicialism is a new philosophy of life, which is simple, practical, popular, and profoundly Christian. Now, what I want to make people understand is one of the biggest problems you have, especially in third positionism, is the overcomplication of third positionism. People want it to be more than it really is, instead of just being very straightforward. This was the problem people had with National Socialism and fascism. Okay, being practical. It's a practical philosophy to live one's own life in the pursuit of betterment of oneself and the society. Okay, and popular, of course, Justicialism was profoundly popular, as can be told by the fact that Perón was reelected a number of times, on the will of the people, mind you. The people urged him and Eva to run. Okay, and both, profoundly Christian. Now, what does profoundly Christian mean? This was something that was not emphasized enough by Adolf Hitler, and this has been, this has led to many misleading concepts embraced by later would-be National Socialists or neo-Nazis, and this idea that paganism, that Nazism is pagan, and that it has to be pagan, and it's Odin worship, and all this other stuff. That's not true. National Socialism, under Hitler, under National Socialist Germany, was distinctly Christian. It was what's called, the national religion was what's known as positive Christianity. Now, positive Christianity was an active lifestyle that embraced Christian values and unified all forms of Christianity, the Protestant, the Catholic, and the evangelical. But it was not necessarily Christianity in the sense of normal, what one would think of as, churchy Christianity. It was Christianity as an active lifestyle for the betterment of oneself and the society as a whole. More active, less, churchy stuff. So, number 15, Justicialism recognizes the equilibrium between the rights of the individual and the rights of the community. In the Anglosphere particularly, the Germanosphere and the Anglosphere and the Scandinavian area, we get very hung up on individual rights. Now, the U.S. Constitution and Bill of Rights actually is great, in my view, at balancing the rights between the individual and the states. Individual rights and states' rights and the federal rights, okay? It balances all three of these, but what Justicialism is stating, which you have to understand, Justicialism and fascism and National Socialism, these are newer than the U.S. Constitution. What I promote is constitutional republicanism with an infusion of Justicialism. But what you need to understand is this with the Justicialism. It is recognizing that the individual and the community has rights, and that these rights are distinctly different, but are not, you have to understand, the rights of the individual and the community are not antagonistic of one another. They go with one another, similar to in fascism, Mussolini's fascism. One needs to understand, and I've stated this a bazillion times, you have to understand that the individual has no rights without the community. A lot of people like to talk about God-given rights and all this nonsense, natural rights, what have you. The fact is, your rights are a product of the civilization you live in, and that civilization is a product of the people that make the social norms, meaning the average of all the people in that society. So the individual rights and the communal rights need to be, they have to be in sync with one another. So that's the idea here. You have to understand that individual rights and communal rights, the rights of the collective and the rights of the individual, must work together. The individual has no rights without the community, and the community does not exist without the individual.